So far, we have discussed about to. These are the things that we have already done, and we are just repeating. It's a kind of a revision just to see that whether you still remember all these structures, all these grammatical structures that we have already done. So first we discuss about to, which is something that is going to happen nearly in the future. Some action, which is going to happen near in future, we use about to, like it is about to rain, बारिश होने वाली है. Will, and the difference between will and going to, will is used for some actions which we plan on the spot, and going to is used for some pre-planned actions that we're going to do in the future action, but pre-planned, like I'm going to wear three-piece in my brother's marriage, my mother is going to cook chicken biryani next Sunday. So something which has been already planned, and something that you plan on the spot, that is, we go with will, right? And then do, does, did as emphatic adverbs. We always use them before the first form of the verb, and we use them to talk about or to emphasize on some action, that to assure others that we really do that. So if I say I do perform namaz, that means मैं नमाज पढ़ता तो हूँ. I did inform you about the meeting. मैंने आपको meeting के बारे में inform किया तो था. So we use it to emphasize on some action that we really do that or we really did it. Okay. So for example, I do read newspaper daily. मैं रोजाना newspaper पढ़ता तो हूँ. And then we discuss about used to, which refers to some past action that we did as a routine, or we did it repetitively, but we do not do now. Something that we did in the past as a regular action or as a routine action, but we don't do now anymore. For example, I used to drive car. मैं गाड़ी चलाया करता था. That means you don't drive car now. I used to live in London. मैं London में रहा करता था, which means you don't live in London now. So Kavalgul has not given me any example. Just waiting for Kavalgul's examples. Yes, Kavalgul, do you have any example to make? Where are you?
I used to go to Hyderabad.
I used to go to Hyderabad. मैं Hyderabad जाया करता था. That means you don't go to Hyderabad anymore, any longer. All right, now is be okay? Be used to. Be used to means is MR used to, because the word be is used in place of the auxiliary verbs is MR was verb. So be used to, okay? So before I tell you what we use be used to, I want you to tell me first that what we use be used to, because this is something that we have already done, right? So yes, Dr. Hochan, could you tell me that what we use be used to?
I'm used to drinking tea.
I'm used to drinking tea. Okay. So can you explain in English why we use be used to? For what purpose? For
that we are regularly as a habitual.
Yes, we use it for habitual actions, something that we are habitual of doing. So you said, I am used to drinking tea. मैं चाय पीने का आदी हूँ. Absolutely correct. Wonderful. I would ask Kavalgul to make one example, and then we are going to go.
I'm used to ride a bike.
Riding a bicycle. When we talk about be used to, we always use ing form of the verb. And then when we talk about only used to without any is mr, so we refer to some past action, we don't use ing form of the verb here. So but when we talk about be used to, I mean smr or was verb before used to, then we use ing form of the verb after that, right? So you don't forget that you have to use ing form of the verb after smr used to talk about a habitual action. So I'm used to riding bike. मैं bike चलाने का आदी हूँ. Absolutely. All right, now the sixth Do you remember where we use because of, due to, owing to? Do you remember where we use these three? For what purpose these three are used? Because of, due to, owing to. I don't want you to give me the example of it first. I want you to first explain me the purpose of using because of, owing to, or due to. If you remember the purpose, then you have to tell me one example. So let's start this one from Kawalgul. Yes, we should start from you now. Where we use because of, due to, owing to. Do you remember? We have done this, I'm sure. I'm pretty enough sure. A long silence. A long silence is subject to the consent in yes, or sometime it is used as the consent of someone and no. What would I understand as the consent in yes, or is the consent in no?
Because due to we don't
What did you
Because
say?
of
Okay, but what did you say, Dr. Hochan? Could you please come again? What did you say?
I don't remember because owing to we don't did it due
Because,
to
okay, the three of them have the same meanings for us. Because of, due to, owing to, no difference at all. Three of them have the same meaning. Now, if you get a little bit idea about it, I'm going to explain you then. Oh, all right, don't explain me if you don't remember. Can you make any sentence using because of, due to, or owing to? You can just give me one example, and if your example is
I came due to a lot of time to I came due to there's a road the opposite road was blocked.
You mean to say I came late? I came late due to traffic blockage or due to traffic
Yes.
jam, or you can say
Yes.
because of the traffic jam, I have been a bit late. So yes, you're right. Three of them are used to tell some reasons or causes, right? We use them to tell the reasons or causes of something. For example, because of my tough routine, I do not meet my relatives, for so many months. Because of uh, because of his exams, he has turned off his mobile and he's not contacting anyone. So due to the access of billing, they have got their telephone line cut. And due to rain, we have postponed our program. We have postponed our picnic. So because of, due to, owing to, three of them are used when we want to tell some causes, some reasons. Mostly we go with the negative, but because of can also be used to tell some positive reasons, like because of you, I did not say anything. Because of my family, I have to do three jobs, something like that. Now, I would take one example from Kavalgul, and then one example from Dr. Hochan, and then I'm going to move to the next structure. Yes, please.
Because of rain, I could attend marriage ceremony.
Okay, because of rain, I couldn't attend the marriage ceremony. That's good. Okay, let's move to Kavalgul.
because of reached late.
Because of reaching late.
Reach,
Because of reaching
or
late.
reaching late.
I don't think
Like
this is going to make a sense. Because of reaching late, and you won't be able to make the next sentence, I think, because you've told the reason in the first sentence, because of reaching late. I think,
because of reaching late,
yeah, that
I couldn't. I cannot attend.
okay,
Yeah,
yeah, that makes sense. You're right. Because of reaching late, I couldn't attend the ceremony. I couldn't attend the maybe birthday ceremony, or I couldn't attend the marriage ceremony, because when you reached I mean, almost everything was over, so you couldn't attend. Yes, that makes sense, of course. So these were the 6 grammatical structures, or you can call them the prepositional phrases that we have already done, and they're very much common in our speaking. And I was expecting you guys to remember all of them very perfectly, just like the back of your hand, and give me the responses very quickly. Uh, but of course, some of the structures you remember, you've given me your responses so quickly, but at the same time, there were, some of the structures, maybe 1 or 2, which you might have forgot, and you were not giving me the very good examples because you might not have revised it. You have just been writing into your notebook and not revising it. That could have been the reason that you don't remember. Anyways, we're just going to move to some more structures. And for that, I have to remove this and wait a second.